Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife. In today's McDojo news, we're going to talk about how a notorious Nevada martial artist was found dead after a 36-hour standoff with police. Let's check out the story. Last Friday, April 12th of 2024, a standoff erupted in Henderson, Nevada involving local police and an armed suicidal individual barricaded in an apartment. The suspect, wanted for a violent crime, eventually died during the multi-day incident. Approximately 36 hours later, the standoff concluded with the death of the suspect identified as 31-year-old Trevor Cooper. Police came to the home to serve Cooper with a warrant on charges of kidnapping, battery, and administering drugs. Despite attempts to de-escalate, the situation intensified over the weekend, prompting a SWAT team deployment. The suspect opened fire on the entering tactical unit, but no injuries were reported. Authorities resorted to using an excavator to breach the building. Multiple media outlets began reporting on Cooper's background in Jiu-Jitsu. But Mendocino County is well acquainted with Trevor Cooper. His criminal record within the county is extensive, and he was a known entity in the local martial arts circuits. Mendocino County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Andy Porter told us Cooper was known to local law enforcement as a skilled martial artist and a dangerous person. The Anderson Valley Adversary's Catch of the Day column indicates he was a Redwood Valley resident on or around May 16th of 2017 when he was booked on charges of driving with a suspended license. The Mendocino County Sheriff's Office asked the public for help on June 14th of 2017 after reports emerged of Cooper reportedly going missing. According to a post on the agency's Facebook page, he went missing on June 13th of 2017 around 9:30 p.m. and was last seen by his mother in a 2017 Ford F-150. The vehicle would later be found on the 1300 block of McNabb Ranch Road with some of his personal effects inside of it and with indications that Trevor may be injured. MCSO wrote that at the time, Trevor's location and well-being is unknown. Cooper eventually arrived at the Willits Howard Memorial in the early morning of Thursday, June 15th of 2017, alleging he had been kidnapped and held overnight. An article from KZYX said that Cooper did not give much detail about his alleged abduction due to his, quote, minor injuries. Lieutenant Porter said that upon questioning about the alleged abduction, investigators came to believe Cooper staged the kidnapping, trying to build an alibi for charges of stalking and domestic violence he would later face. A police log from the Ukiah Daily Journal dated October 20th, 2017 indicates that 24-year-old Cooper was arrested on suspicion of stalking, threatening injury, and conspiring to commit a felony, and domestic battery. A review of the Mendocino County Superior Court records indicates these charges would later be dismissed. In November of 2018, Cooper was arrested by Ukiah Police Department after officers investigating a possible marijuana grow reportedly found evidence of a honey oil lab operating at the suspect's home on West Mill Street. Cooper reportedly admitted to having marijuana at his home and agreed to show it to the officer, who then saw, quote, shake marijuana in several plastic tubs, as well as, quote, numerous large pieces of machinery commonly used in butane honey oil labs. Such labs use a highly volatile process to extract THC from marijuana plants, and a similar lab exploded in a mobile home on Wabash Avenue 2 months earlier, severely burning the resident and destroying his home. Inside the Mill Street residence, the officer also reportedly found, quote, 4 replica assault weapons and substantially more marijuana, evidence of marijuana sales, and $5,000 in cash. Cooper was arrested on suspicion of manufacturing a controlled substance, possessing marijuana for sale, and violating his probation. He was booked into Mendocino County Jail under $55,000 bail. Henderson police also allegedly arrested Cooper in February on a domestic violence charge. In that case, the charges indicated Cooper used a deadly weapon and substantially harmed his victim. Cooper was accused of allegedly repeatedly attacking and battering a roommate on 2 occasions. Police later went into the home, finding it covered in blood. Cooper was allegedly accusing his roommate of stealing money, drugs, and gold, documents said. After his February arrest, a judge released Cooper without requiring bail because prosecutors had not filed sufficient evidence to detain him, court records indicated. Documents indicate police later came to the home, finding several guns in Cooper's bedroom. Police said they seized the guns due to a protection order filed in California, which prohibited him from owning any firearms. But not all of Cooper's Mendocino County legacy is problematic. Ukiah resident Chris Edwards remembered Cooper as a, quote, great jiu-jitsu mentor and, quote, one of the most talented jiu-jitsu guys I have ever known. Edwards said Cooper began his jiu-jitsu career at Ukiah's Mendocino Combat Club and later moved to Thailand to further his training. When Cooper returned to the United States, he briefly returned to his Ukiah fighting gym, which was now the Mendo Training Center. Eventually, Edwards said Cooper studied under Dave Terrell, a well-known jiu-jitsu trainer out of the NorCal Fighting Alliance in Santa Rosa. A local woman even remembers him for his kindness towards his adopted animal companion. Becca Edwards, the dog kennel manager at the Humane Society for Inland Mendocino County, said Cooper adopted a dog from them around 6 years ago, and she remembers Cooper as a, quote, very nice guy in all my experiences with him. He, quote, took very good care of his dog. The last time she heard from Cooper was in August of 2023 when he messaged Edwards on Instagram asking her about pet insurance. After hearing the news of this weekend's standoff, Edwards is concerned about the dog's well-being. She asked if anyone knows about the status of the dog to email her at dogteam@hsimc.org. But with that said, Cooper did have a horrific interaction with law enforcement in Henderson, Nevada that ended with police literally tearing apart the building he had barricaded himself in. Images of that fatal encounter have headlined news sites in the Nevada area these past few days. Christina Pelli-Filicomo, a woman who lived in the Henderson, Nevada neighborhood where the standoff took place, said she watched as law enforcement yelled out, quote, Trevor, come out. This isn't a game. You need to come out with your hands up. She said that Cooper had, quote, created havoc in our normally very sleepy neighborhood. Law enforcement reports that the suspect was, quote, making suicidal statements, refusing to surrender. Eventually, they said on April 13th of 2024 at about 8:45 a.m., Henderson's SWAT team made entry into the residence where the suspect discharged multiple rounds. They left, and no one was reported to be injured. Filicomo, the neighbor in Henderson, Nevada, who witnessed the barricade, kindly said, please pray for all of the families who have been displaced. And also pray for Trevor's family. They lost their son, and that breaks my heart as well. No one would want this to happen to their family members. We would like to thank our community members and their patience and understanding during this critical incident, Henderson Police Chief Holly Chadwick said in a statement. Our primary focus will always be the safety of our community members. We would like to thank our partners in the Valley who worked tirelessly with us to bring this critical incident to a conclusion. The Henderson Police Department will continue to valiantly and diligently serve our community members. Let's unpack that. So apparently Trevor had a rap sheet. Not only was he making and distributing drugs, he also was illegally possessing firearms, and there's even video of him in a fight on the street. From what was reported, it seemed like he was probably going to be doing some pretty serious jail time as well. It seems to me the craziest part is this would have never even happened had he actually been still in jail where he probably belonged at that time. But due to lack of sufficient evidence in one of his cases, he was allowed to go free, and this is what happened. Now, clearly he made some type of positive impact. We talked to a couple people who he had great interactions with. This goes to show that there are shades of gray to people. Was he always a bad person? Did he always do bad things? Was he mostly good, mostly bad? I don't know. But what I do know was, during that time where he barricaded himself in, him blowing off rounds at police officers could have cost someone else their life because of what he put himself into. It is very sad, as quoted in the report, that his family just lost him. It's also sad that people around him that he was able to impact in a positive way have now lost him as well. On the other hand, the guy had a rap sheet that was as long as my arm. This brings us to the question of the day. Do you think martial arts actually helps people become better people? Or does it just bring out who they were in the first place? According to one person anyway, it seems that he was a very talented martial artist, and in that video we just got done watching, it seems like he was very good at jiu-jitsu at least. Be sure to answer that question in the comment sections below so that way I know that you watched the entire video. As always, thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, and memberships. Check out McDojoLife.com, Keep the martial arts legit.
My baby got robbed the other day by degenerates. So she wanted to learn some new form of this self-defense. So she did her research and perused it online and found this dude said he could move shit with his mind. He call himself Seafood Paul Zimmerman. He got a dojo with a strip on here, Cinnabon. Now she spends all day trying to